Gregory Peck played the perfect father on screen, but his real family was cursed from the start. At age 3, both his parents abandoned him. His grandmother died while he was trapped at military school. Then his son, Jonathan, took his own life at 30. His other son, Tony, battled alcoholism and nearly died from self-destruction. People said the PC men were haunted by something dark. Gregory himself died, carrying secrets about affairs and guilt that he never shared. This family's pain ran deeper than anyone knew. Gregory Peck was born on April 5, 1916 in La Jolla, California. He was the only child of Gregory Pearl Peck, a pharmacist, and Bernice May Bunny Ayers. At first glance, his birth might have seemed like the start of a perfect life, but the truth was painful. By the time he was just 3, his parents' marriage was falling apart. When he turned 5, they made their split official. The most heartbreaking part was that neither parent wanted to raise him. This was during a time when fewer than 8 couples out of every 1,000 divorced in the early 1920s. So the situation was rare and left young Gregory feeling alone. His father focused on work and was hardly around. His mother, burdened by her struggles and the shame of divorce, could not give him the care he needed. The sense of abandonment stayed with Gregory forever. He often felt like he belonged to no one, and this deep pain shaped the way he played strong, loving fathers on screen. But the trouble didn't stop there. His mother, Bunny, took the bold step of filing for divorce and got a restraining order against his father. That was nearly unheard of for a woman back then. Bunny said that Doc Peck was verbally cruel, accused her of cheating, and even fought with her sister's husband. What's worse, she said he threatened young Gregory and once kept her from getting help when her appendix burst. The court believed her enough to give her that rare restraining order. When Gregory grew up, he denied these claims and said his father could never have been that cruel. But many biographers say the court records and the times they lived in show that Bunny's fear was likely real. The fear and fights Gregory saw as a boy left deep marks, filling him with a sense of fairness and compassion that later made his acting so powerful. In the middle of all this, Gregory's maternal grandmother, Kate Eyes, became his saving grace. Neither parent wanted him, but Kate took him in. Living with her in La Jolla, he found comfort in a simple routine. Every week she would dress him nicely and take him to the movies. Those trips weren't just fun. They were his way to escape a world that had let him down. The big screen became his safe place. Those outings planted the seed of his future career. Yet even this comfort had its sadness. Gregory always knew his grandmother's care was a poor substitute for the love he wanted from his parents. The films they saw together kept him going, but they also reminded him of what he was missing at home. The pain of those years showed up in his work, giving his characters a depth and kindness that felt real, because they were born from his own hurt. When Gregory was 10, his life took another sad turn. His parents decided to send him to St. John's Military Academy in Los Angeles. Maybe they thought he needed strict discipline, or maybe they just didn't want him. One day he was with his grandmother, and the next he was in a place full of rules and uniforms. He stayed there until graduation. He did well. He even became a cadet captain, but he was mostly alone. His father, working nights, hardly visited. His mother stayed out of his life. Gregory later said he never had a real childhood. The loneliness he felt at that school stayed with him, helping him understand the pain of those who feel left out. It gave him the strength to play characters who battled their own demons and longed for connection. The saddest moment came when he said goodbye to the woman who had saved him. At age 10, before heading off to school, he kissed his grandmother goodbye, not knowing it would be for the last time. She died while he was at the academy. The news reached him in that cold, strict place, making his grief even harder to bear. He wasn't allowed to go home for her funeral. Losing her that way left a wound that never healed. He always spoke of her with deep love, saying she gave him the only real care he ever knew. That loss haunted him and brought real feeling to his later roles. as a protector and father. In 1936, Gregory went to UC Berkeley, planning to become a doctor. He studied English on a pre-med path and rode on the university's crew team, standing tall at 6 ducks 3. But a public speaking class changed everything. The director of the campus theater noticed his powerful voice and invited him to join a play. His first role was Starbucks in Moby Dick. Gregory said he was remarkably bad, but the experience thrilled him. He felt doors opening and realized acting was his true calling. By his final year, he had been in 5 plays. When he graduated in 1939, he left his dream of medicine behind. He said, "Berkeley woke me up and made me a human being." That lucky turn toward the stage changed not just his life, but American film history. Right after college, with just $160 and a letter of introduction from his father-in-law, he went to New York City. It was 1939, and making it as an actor during the Great Depression meant hard work. He won a scholarship to the neighborhood playhouse where great teachers like Sanford Meisner shaped him, but a scholarship didn't pay the bills. He worked as an usher at Radio City Music Hall and as a snack seller at the 1939 World's Fair. His days were packed with classes, side jobs, and auditions. That struggle built the grit that stayed with him long after he became a star. His first 3 plays on Broadway flopped, starting with The Morning Star in 1942. The critics didn't like the plays, but they liked him. They saw his talent even when the shows failed. Many actors would have given up after 3 failures. But Gregory kept going. Producers began to notice the tall, serious young man who lit up even the dullest productions. Those tough beginnings made him stronger and set him up for success. World War II changed everything for Gregory. Big stars like Clark Gable and James Stewart went off to fight, leaving a gap in Hollywood. Gregory couldn't join the military because of a bad back injury. Studios said it happened during rowing at Berkeley, but Gregory later said the truth was stranger. Martha Graham, the famous dancer, heard his